Calls for the JobSeeker bonus to stay longer. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.Heise here, and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Working through my stein of coffee, and I thought we'd have a look at this news.com.au article regarding, well, calls to keep the JobSeeker bonus for longer, or I must say, stronger for longer, to help Australians. Now, this is a difficult situation, simply because, well, unemployment, everyone, has shot up. This is the ABS data, 7.2%. We look at Roy Morgan, we're looking at about, well, unemployment plus underemployment at 25% of the workforce, give or take a couple. It's pretty high, a big chunk of the workforce. But then another consideration, well, there are no jobs. Job advertisements were up 42%. I gave you all good news yesterday, a good news video, 42% increase in job advertisements. But because we've plunged so much, the journey back up from a loss is a lot harder than the journey down. You need a lot of these 42% increases to reach back up to where we got. So, a lot of people who are currently unemployed, or a lot of people on JobKeeper who will be unemployed. But there aren't that many jobs around, everyone. There aren't that many jobs around, so it's a tough situation to be in. It really is. But also, you don't want JobSeeker. You don't want a system that's put in place as an emergency mechanism to keep people from essentially destitution. Because our civilization, we've made the call that we want to have, a certain minimum of life quality because we're so advanced. And that's happened in the past too. But you don't want that minimum, that emergency level, to be so comfortable that it discourages people from actually having to work. And in some ways, it is at the moment. If you think about it, if you're having to work 40 hours a week, all the then the costs associated with that of travel, of childcare, of vehicular travel, and whatever other costs are associated with buying lunches and coffees, it doesn't look that appealing. Would you do that for an extra 300 a week, for 200 a week? That's the poverty trap. That's the trap. Once you get in there, people act reasonable, and they start to weigh everything up, and they can get trapped in the situation. So there's the argument. You want it to be enough to keep people from destitution, but you also want to ensure there's still an incentive and a reward for working. Because otherwise you're creating a situation where this perverse, scenario where you're punished for working, where you're slaving away for hardly anything. Then you can't blame people for taking the smarter route, can you? So let's have a look. A new economic report has warned against cutting the JobSeeker payments too early, claiming the premature withdrawal of support could harm the wider economy. Well, here's the thing. This is just future revenue that's being spent now. The government doesn't have a surplus at all. We're in debt, and the budget is running in debt. The surplus that they're talking about was just the yearly spending that they wanted to get in check. Queensland terrible as well. So one way or another, we're going to pay for this. Either in the future, our children's children, or the MMT magic will work its wonders and then we'll be taxed to manage it, one way or another. At the moment, the government's emergency $1,500 a fortnight JobKeeper wage subsidy is due to end in September, along with a lot of other things. At the same time, JobSeeker payments were doubled. Wait, did I say JobKeeper? JobKeeper is ending. JobSeeker was doubled to $1,100 a fortnight to combat the crisis. They're said to be slashed down to the previous levels of $40 a day. $40 a day. And we'll get idiots in the comments going, oh, you try and live on JobSeeker, yada, yada, yada. See, the difference is I've got my own business. So if I don't find work, I don't have any money at all. That's the fun of it, guys. That's the fun of it. So, I'm used to the challenges of having to, scrape by. Sometimes it happens. Small business can be really tough, particularly when you got the bigger ones. Multi-millionaires taking months to pay you. Months to pay you, and you got to, but people say, oh, but you've got a contract. And I go, yes, the contract's only worth how much you're willing to spend on lawyers to force it to work. You know, and that's just the challenge of the environment that you have to live in. I've learned some valuable lessons over the years. I should do a video on it, actually. I should do a video on it. But nonetheless, you know, I've had to live on that little. But in small business, it comes and goes. You know, if you can't generate money, then you don't have any. It's a different mindset in some regards. However, in today's Deloitte Access Economics Business Outlook report, the firm claims that means too much support ends at the same time and that a smooth transition was needed. I mean, here we go. We've become such a soft nation, such a nation that is, you know, we can't even stand any difficult times that they even want to taper off the intervention because it may be too drastic, it may be too tough. Do you think, are people setting this aside, this bonus, or are they frittling it away? They're probably, you know, frittling it away. I know. Everyone's calling me naive to hope that people are stashing it away or using the extra to pay off debts. They're probably subscribing to another, you know, Disney thing or Yahoo online TV subscription or frittling it away on afterpay payments. I still think people are going to wake up from this, and you know, at least some of them will go, never again. I'm never going to be in this situation again. This will be a life turnaround moment. I'm going to take control of my finances. You know, I'm going to learn how to learn some financial literacy. School failed me. Work failed me. You know, I don't want to depend on the government. I don't trust them. Let's hope. There's too many lefties trust the government to take care of them. That scares the shit out of me, everyone. That really does. We got a generation of people calling for this rubbish. Haven't they learned any history? Don't they know how dangerous that is? To depend on these idiots that can't even organize anything. The report argues that a recession is changing shape fast, which means the nature, timing, and dollars of support needs to change fast. This includes new types of spending on top of recent infrastructure and home builder packages, and a smarter transition of timing and dollars, including phasing support where possible. Some type of ongoing wage subsidy, job tweaker. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Well, you know, there we go. Alexis, you've named it. She's called it. Job tweaker, everyone. Will be needed too. Limited to rather small range of businesses, such as those tied to international borders. And the dollars per person may need to be lowered too, the report states. But wage subsidies gradually become less helpful the longer they're used as emergency support. There are rising costs in simply keeping zombie jobs alive. Yes, there are. So that doesn't say pull back overall spending support, but it does say this particular type of support should gradually fade in importance in our defense against the virus. Well, no, it's not. We're not defending against the virus. We're defending against the economic lockdowns that are happening. The fight against the illness is completely different. That's to do with our healthcare system. You know, sure, the lockdown was a result of that to limit the impact on the healthcare system. But my understanding, Australia's got some of the best EDs in the world, everyone. We've got some quite good hospitals. We've got a good infrastructure. Have they ramped that up? Have they built, you know, deployed emergency accommodation to remote areas to treat a massive influx of people? Deloitte also argued that the complexity of exiting from this emergency is high, and that things keep changing fast. So over and above existing reasons to have higher unemployment benefits anyway, keeping JobSeeker stronger for longer will be vital in filling the cracks as emergency safety nets morph or disappear. We're all in this together, it concluded. We're all in this together. We're all in this together. Well, maybe this is once again at the beginning of another century. Humanity has to learn the tough lessons we learned at the beginning of the last century. You know, we're all in this together, comrade. You know. However, it's not all bad news. Deloitte also noted Australia's relative success in fighting against the pandemic and the successful protection of many jobs and businesses, and indicated the recession may well have already passed its worst. What the hell? Okay. Sure. Do you think the recession's already passed its worst, everyone? Do you? Bloody hell. I think it hasn't even begun yet. We haven't seen any of these ramifications, these interventions removed. What happens? Well, maybe they remove everything and the economy just springs right back into action. And then we have to shut down New South Wales. And then we have to shut down Queensland. And we have more suburbs all over the place springing up where we're locking down. More Judge Andrews stomping around, declaring he's the law. But despite that positivity, Aussie families are still struggling with this toxic trio of high debt, high unemployment, and low confidence. Okay, so the high debt is absolutely nothing new. Has nothing to do with this at all. That was already there. Low confidence, that's taken a beating. And high unemployment, well, this is what happens when you shut down the economy. There's going to be some businesses that don't return. Some that shouldn't return. And I know that the problem is with having a snowflake generation is it melts when the heat gets turned up. Describing 2020 as a shocker of a year, which means the ranks of the unemployed will be badly swollen for a while after the virus took a sledgehammer to Australia's economy with no state or territory left unscathed. The release of the report comes just hours ahead of the Reserve Bank's July meeting, which is expected to result in the official cash rate remaining at the current historic low of 0.25. Do you think they'll ever actually go lower than that? Do you think we'll see negative interest rates in Australia? People would have said 0.25 would be unimaginable. Would be Australian Defence Force personnel patrolling borders be, It's a clown world we're living in, everyone. Deloitte predicts it will remain at that level for years to come, and the economy will contract by 0.4% through to 2021. The predictions come just days after the ATO revealed more than 6,500 JobKeeper applications have been rejected as ineligible or fraudulent, with thousands of Australians potentially having their payments cut in cases of deliberately inaccurate claims. Well, there you go. There you go. The government will come after you one way or another. Nothing's free, everyone. Nothing is free. When you make that deal with the devil, you will always have to pay it back, and usually with interest. What do you think, everyone? Do you think JobSeeker should be kept at the high level? Or do you think it will result in less incentives to work? And the real scary, dangerous thing here is if you trap a generation of people in poverty. And that's what welfare can do. That's the worst thing in the world. All built on the path to good intentions. As always, thanks for watching. Please let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you're a fan and want to support the content I create here, there are a few ways you can. You can join us on YouTube or Patreon. You can support us via using our affiliate links at Amazon, eBay, Independent Reserve, or Kucoin. You can find them all below. You can use Gold Pass from the Perth Mint and support us via PayPal. I'll see you in the next video. Bye, everyone.